Hi, this is Lauren. Welcome back to CraftSomeJoy. I'm so excited to talk to you today because I have 5 of my favorite things that I love using in my craft room to keep me organized. Now, some of these you may have seen before, but I'm going to show you some extra special little tips and tricks. And again, just go over how I use these items to keep myself organized in the craft room. Okay, so first up are the Avery Ultra tabs. You heard me talk about these in my paper organization video, and I showed you how I use them to add tabs to the side of my paper pouches when I'm organizing my paper. And that's a simple, easy way to just organize different paper packs. So that was the first way I was able to use those tabs. And then I decided that they were going to be useful for a lot of other things. So I went ahead and decided to organize my metal dies. And as you've heard me mention before, I don't have a huge collection. So I was able to fit them all in this one box, which I'm going to talk about this box in a minute. But you can see I just used those tabs and some white cardstock that I cut into a 5.5 by 7.5 square or rectangle. And then I just added the tab right on top and I wrote the category. And you know how I love my categories. So I have spring, summer, fall, and winter for my dies. And then I was able to just pop the dies in there and have that all set and ready. So these tabs are great for creating indexes and categories for your craft supplies. So of course I want to also mention that these are great for their intended use, which is to create tabs for your planner or your notebooks and different things. And that's easy enough to do by just writing the subject on your tab, peeling it off. And again, these are repositionable. And then just adding it right to your book. So it's a great way if you're a planner fanatic or a bullet journal fanatic. These are a really nice size to add, and then you can just create your own tabs for your notebooks. Okay, so now I also want to show you some outside the box thinking of what you can do with these tabs, and this is really fun. Okay, so I am a day designer girl. I love this planner. And I'm hoping to do a video soon on my brand new planner I just picked up at Target from Day Designer. I really love this format, but I also love making it pretty. So I want to show you how I'm going to set my 2020 planner up. But this is the one I've been using this year. And so I just want to flip here to this month and just show you some other fun little things you can do with these tabs. So sometimes you might have in your craft stash some of this acetate or these see-through kind of fun little things. These are from Heidi Swap, and they are, I think, for making cinch books or different books that she has. But I like them because they're kind of fun to add into my planner. And I also thought, wow, how am I going to get them into my planner? And I decided that these Avery tabs were going to be just the perfect thing. So I ended up taking an Avery tab and my little Stampin-up hole puncher for the ring binders and just popped it in there, punched it. And then now this can go just right in my planner. So easy. Pop it in there, and now I have this cute little see-through acetate that I can put on my monthly planner sheet. So another thing you can do, same idea, is with these tabs, again, they're removable, which is great. If you have a little sleeve, you can do the same thing with a sleeve, and then you can just add that sleeve with a picture. Say you have a picture and now you want to put that picture in your book and say, oh yeah, that's fun, let me just add. That's a really cute little picture. And now I can look at that picture all week or all month, depending on where you put it. And then that just fits right in your planner also. Now I should mention that this works also for your happy planner. And if you just do the same idea, so we've got the happy planner and I have the happy planner punch. Same idea, you take one of the tabs off and then you just need to kind of place it right there in the center of those punches. I'm trying to get it in there without it sticking. I think I'll flip it over. There we go. So right in the center of the punches so that it comes out evenly. And bammo, okay, there you have it. Same idea. So here you go. I'll just show you this. My daughter just drew this darling little illustration of my dog. And she is a very talented artist. If you'd like to check out her Instagram, it's at onlyu718, only one Y, onlyu718 on Instagram. And she just posted this. And so I thought it was absolutely darling and I needed a printout of it. So that's going in my planner. But I just want to show you how this works for the happy planner setup also. And then it just fits right in there. So I want to just mention the reason these tabs work so well for putting in your planners also is because it's paper, plastic, and paper. And so it's not flimsy. These just, they have some substance to them and they work out great. And they're removable, so you can use them over and over again. They're just fantastic. I really, really like these things. And I don't even work for Avery. So anyhow, check that out. If you have a planner, most of us have planners nowadays. If you're in the crafting world, these were just some fun little additions that you can do depending on the type of planner you own, and just add those into your binder. Now you could do the same thing with not only artwork, but say a business card or some mail that you need to do. I saw somebody put in envelopes, like if you're on a cash envelope system, you could do the same thing. Use these tabs for everything. They are just a great, great addition to keeping yourself organized. Okay, so next up are the 12 by 12 sleeves that I use. And this is the brand that I selected from Amazon. It's Checkout Store brand. I did hear on one of my comments that Amazon is currently has these as unavailable, but I just want to mention there's other brands and other manufacturers, and I think there's even other quantities. I remember there were like you could order 50, 100, or 200. But the main thing I would suggest, if you look, these are what you call record sleeve covers. And just make sure you get one that's like 3 mil thickness so that it has some good weight to it and it'll hold up when using them in your craft room. So I will try to leave some links on some currently available 12 by 12 sleeves in the description box. So please make sure you click the more button and you can check that out. Again, this is what I love to use when I am organizing my paper. And I do have my paper organizational video, which goes into lots of detail about how I have my paper organized. But again, I use these along with those Avery tabs to hold my paper packs. And this is both for like designer or printed paper packs, collections, if I want to organize all different kinds of pieces in a collection together. I can just pop all that into one sleeve. And again, I like to put down the manufacturer of the collection, or if it's just solid paper, I will slide in the sticker or the label for that color paper. So if I'm running low, I know what color that was if I need to reorder it. Or you could also use an Avery tab to go ahead and label the color of your paper too. Okay, so those are the standard uses. So I also want to show you a couple other uses for these 12 by 12 sleeves. So if you are a scrapbooker and like to organize your pages, these also work perfectly for creating a little page kit. And especially if you're an on-the-go scrapper or want to prepare to go for a crop, these would be excellent to kind of get yourself organized and ready to work on an album. And you can just put in the pictures, the paper, the memorabilia. You could even add in stickers, journaling box, whatever you need, and have that kit ready to go when you're ready to scrapbook that page. And my suggestion is to do this as a 2-page spread, so each pocket would contain everything you need to do for a 2-page spread. So an excellent way to kind of get prepared if you're a scrapper on the go. Now, the other little trick I have for these sleeves is also to organize my memorabilia. So again, I just use these 12 by 12 sleeves. I tucked in a 12 by 12 page, and then I added a label for the year. And then this is where I store all of my large size memorabilia for the year for my scrapbook. So you can see I just have that organized by year. And then I keep this kind of in an open file folder. And when I get something from the kids or from a trip or whatever, I can just slide it right in and it's all set and ready to go. It doesn't take up a whole lot of room, which is what I like about this system, but it does keep you organized when you're ready to scrapbook, and kind of just a place to keep your large memorabilia, even stuff that doesn't make it into your scrapbook. Now you have a place to store that. Okay, so these next two products really kind of go hand in hand, and they are baseball card sleeves and notebooks of your choice. And I'm not quite sure what I would do without these in my craft room, because I use them for so many different ways of organizing different supplies in my craft room. So I'm going to just go through a few of those right now, and hopefully you'll find a few tips or two. So I did end up getting the box of 100 of the Ultra Pro Platinum series. These are a nice, heavy, thick weight baseball card sleeve. Now, to kind of give you even more flexibility, you could also not just get the baseball card sleeve size, but you could get like a photo pouch too that has 4x6 or 5x7. The whole idea is just to have kind of a little plastic sleeve with some little slots that you can organize different things into in your craft room. Okay, so first, as you may have seen, I did slip one of these into my 12 by 12 paper sleeve. And again, so I'm using 3 of my favorite products right here: the Avery label, the 12 by 12 sleeve, and a baseball card holder. And I just took the embellishment pack and kind of broke it up into the different categories. And now I just have this thin sleeve that I can slip right in, and I don't have a bunch of stuff kind of piled up in the bottom of my pocket. So I can just slide that into my pack and everything's there ready to go. So this is for kind of when you're taking and holding a whole group together of a collection in one of these 12 by 12 sleeves. Okay, and then you know that I'm a little bit obsessive about my planner stickers, and I do like to, these are the Mombi planner stickers, and I do like to cut them apart. And yeah, I just like to do that. It does take a little time, but I really enjoy being able to flip through my planner stickers and get exactly the sticker that I want to add to my planner. And so I found with so many of the different Mombi packs, they have the same types of stickers. So they have, it's wash day or laundry and different things. And so I liked being able to just flip through a binder and find the sticker that I needed to add to my planner. And I have these organized that way. I also have my punch inventory binder. And again, for organizing your punches and just kind of really getting a feel for what you have and how they punch in your collection. Again, the baseball card sleeves, I just cut different slots of paper And then every time I get a punch, I get that little card, I punch it. So right away I have used it and I know exactly kind of the design it punches, and I can add that into my binder. So it really does help with getting you to become familiar with what you have on hand and how all the different punches punch. Like here's the brand new one I just got, is the branch punch, and it kind of gives you a sense of the size and the scale. And also just if you're looking for a particular punch, you can just refer to this and go, oh yeah, I have something similar, or no, I really do need to add that to my collection. So it's all right here, organized into your punch inventory binder. Okay, so that's again, baseball card sleeves and notebooks. A couple other things I do use the sleeves for are embossing folders and also Sizzix, the little Sizzlet dies, and the alphabets, the small alphabets fit perfectly in here. And again, I add white vinyl so I can see exactly what my dies are just by looking. And again, we have some more sleeves, and I really like putting extra die cuts in here, both alphabets and shapes and different pieces, so I can easily just kind of flip through and see if I have something already punched or cut, either from my brother's scan and cut or from my dies, and I can just kind of flip through and take a look at those. Great way to use the baseball card sleeves and again, your notebook. So just focusing on notebooks, I also organize a lot of different things just in notebooks in my craft room. One of them is fonts. I love fonts. I've mentioned that before. So I like making a list of good cutting fonts that I use with my brother's scan and cut. And so I just print those out and leave those in a page protector in my font notebook. And I also have the sheets printed when I buy a collection of fonts that I can use for design work. And then I keep those lists printed, and it tells me what glyphs or what extras they come with, and it gives me an idea of what those fonts look like. So I love having a font notebook as well as a sketch notebook. And there are times when I really do feel like using a sketch in my albums. So I enjoy being able to flip through and just kind of look at all the different sketches. This is nothing new. I'm sure you guys have this already done in your craft room, but again, just a way to keep things organized in notebooks. There's so many different things you can do to keep these easily accessible, and just use your label maker to designate what's in what notebook, or you can get those clear notebooks and just slide in a cute little spine. But if not, use your label maker and you're set. One of the things I do like though is kind of having a set of similar notebooks in my craft room. I think it kind of keeps everything looking good. So if you're kind of just starting out, you might want to select a product that you know you can get a hold of and that you can maybe buy a few, and then you've got a similar look in your craft room for those. And last but not least are the Iris photo cases. These are the 5x7 and the 4x6 cases, and they are listed to store your photographs. But if you don't already have these in your craft room, they are fantastic to organize just about anything that you have. And I just love these cases. So I'm going to go through and show you all the different ways I've used these in my craft room. I do know that Michaels also sells these separately, the 4x6 and the 5x7 size. So if you have a coupon, you could go and just pick up a few single ones. But my recommendation, I found a cost-effective way of getting these is to go ahead and buy this set off of Amazon, because you get the box as well as a whole set of containers inside. So this comes with the box and six of the containers inside when you buy that. And I ended up actually getting a set of 4 of these on Amazon, and the price, that was the best price breakdown for me. And I knew I would use these, and I have used them in my craft room, so that just worked out for me. So these are listed for storing your photographs. However, I'm just really not sure about the photo safety for long-term storage of photos in these plastic cases. If somebody knows whether they are archival, I would love to hear that. But for me personally, I don't want to store my photos in plastic for long-term. So I really prefer organizing and storing my photos in the photo folders, because this is acid-free, lignin-free cardstock, and I know that's not going to damage my photos even in the long term. And then I put these in my Creative Memories Power Sort box, because I know that is archival. So anyhow, getting back to the iris cases, there are so many other uses besides photographs storage that I just absolutely love these things. So first off, as I mentioned, I bought mine with the cases and the large box because I really don't use it together. I like taking all the cases out and using the cases for one purpose and the box for another purpose. So let me show you what I mean by that. So in my craft room tour, you probably saw this drawer, and in this drawer I have all the different 4x6 boxes, and they are all labeled. I used my label maker with clear tape because I like the look of the clear with the black printing on it and on the clear plastic. I think that looks classy. So you can see these are just different types of accents that I have categorized. So if I'm ready to make a card and I need a special thing, I can just pull this out and see what I have in my little box. So this one says words. So if I'm looking for words, I can just look through this little box of different words and see what I have for making my cards and different for making cards or tags or whatever kind of project I'm working on. And then they can just slide right back into my box. So just to show you the difference between the 5x7 and the 4x6, the 5x7 obviously does hold a little bit more, and sometimes if I have a larger collection, like this is Valentine's related, I'll use the larger 5x7 box, and if it's smaller, I can use the 4x6 box. But I do find they are so convenient for storing just a whole bunch of ephemera, memorabilia, doodads, you name it, you can put it in this box. They are so handy. This one has a little Creative Memories card kit that fit just perfectly in there. Also, they're great for stampers because the wooden stamps, they are the exact size for putting wooden stamp collections. And then you can just look at the top and see exactly what kind of stamps you have in those boxes. Super, super helpful. I have one here I was just showing earlier where I have acetate in that one. And then this is perfect for storing my photo paper. I typically use two different sizes. When I print from home, I use 5x7 and 4x6. Those are the majority that I print off. And I use two different types of paper, which is a luster and a metallic. And so these are all just stored in here, ready to go. I can just grab that when I'm ready to restock my printer with paper and print at home. So I'll be explaining just how I do that in another video coming up. But I do love the Red River paper. That's my favorite paper brand, and I'll get into all the details of how I print. But this is just a great way to have your photo paper handy and in a bin. And again, this bin is from Target in the bathroom section. Kind of weird, but anyhow, these are great for the Recollections Michael's cubes. Another box I have, my Peekaboo Pockets from Creative Memories. This is another favorite product of mine. And the Peekaboo Pockets fit perfectly in this box, as well as the Write Again correction labels. This is an old CM product for when you're journaling. And then I have one that's storing my CD sleeves and keeping all that handy. So these boxes are really just so fantastic for storing so many different types of things in your craft room and in your cubbies, in your drawers, wherever you have them. Now the outside, the box that they come in is also super handy. I mentioned this earlier in the video that I did organize all of my metal dies right in a box. It is the perfect size. So if you do use the DVD system for storing your dies, the larger sleeve with the magnet sheets on them, these fit just perfectly in this 5x7 iris box. So everything, they do have to be on the side rather than upright, but that was fine for me because, again, I don't have that many. And I can just kind of reach in here, see what I have, and have those organized. So those fit just perfectly in the box with my Avery labels ready to get used. I also want to show you how perfectly this box can hold the photo folders once you have all your printed photos organized. And again, check out my photo folders video and there's a link there where you can download your own folder free on my website, and then there's a detailed video on how to use the folders and organize all your printed photos. But it does hold them perfectly. It's just the perfect size, width and height so that it closes, no damage to the photos. So if you're working on an album project, this might be a good size for you to kind of group the photos that you need together and have them handy and accessible right here in the iris box. Now I have seen how others have used these boxes for storing other types of craft items, such as your embossing folders would fit in here, or cut pieces of cardstock if you're working on 4x6 or 5x7 pieces of cardstock. Really, these cases, I mean, you name it, they have so many different uses. And if you have a smaller collection of different items, of course, you can just keep those smaller cases in the large box and then just label your box what you have in it. So these are just 5 of my favorite supplies that keep all your crafty goodness organized in your craft space. And I hope this was helpful, and maybe you got some new ideas. Maybe you've seen a lot of these before, but I just wanted to show you how I use these items in my craft room and how much they really help out in a lot of different ways. So if you have some great ideas on how to use some of these products, I'd love to hear from you. Give me a comment and tell me how you're organizing your craft room. And if you'd like to find a link on how you can purchase these for yourself, make sure you hit the More button in the description, and I'll leave links to all these different products. So until next time, I hope you take time to craft some joy and organize, and take care. We'll see you next time.